What is GuardLink? Basically, it is a way for us to get safety devices and get the advanced diagnostic data out of these individual safety devices. Again, that's where it becomes smart. The other thing, it's very simple because it's all M12 quick disconnect QD wiring. It's safe. Obviously, we can achieve up to a performance level E safety category. And then we can also have up to 32 devices with this no loss of this rating. We'll talk a little bit more in detail about that. What commonly happens today or in the past is you'll have a safety system kind of like pictured down here in the bottom right corner. You'll have multiple devices out there in the field. They'll be wired in series or wired back to a distribution block. Each one of the auxiliary contacts is wired back to your standard PLC to get diagnostic data of what's going on with that switch. What commonly happens in the field is you'll have an E-stop get depressed or a set of contacts on E-stop or safety switch start going bad. Those contacts won't be made, allowing your safety system to reset. Your auxiliary contacts say, hey, my system's ready to go. So you're constantly out there with a meter trying to figure out where the issue is, going around the machine, opening and closing doors, pressing E-stops, which takes a lot of time to diagnose what's going on with the system. So the other issue with it, obviously, if you wire all those auxiliaries back to get that increased feedback, that's a lot of wiring and things that has to take place, a lot of inputs to your PLC. GuardLink is a way to help us with all those items and not have as much cost. So just kind of as a system overview, looking at it here, this is a very simple system set up within GuardLink. We've got our standard safety input devices. These are our standard everyday safety input devices, such as door switches, E-stops, solenoid locking switches. They can be light curtains. It can be a safety scanner. Kind of where the magic happens with this system is within the GuardLink smart taps themselves, and then also with the GuardLink master. One thing to keep in mind with the GuardLink, it basically is a trunk line system that goes out and you tee off your devices off of it with these smart taps. And then at the end of the line, you just have a terminating plug. The other part of the system that I said is kind of the where the magic happens is within the GuardLink master. It's the size of a standard safety relay. Looks a lot like a standard safety GSR safety relay. But again, this is where the brains of the system take place. And then lastly there, I want to highlight that's the GSR Ethernet module. This is the Ethernet module that goes with our next generation series safety relays. Same standard Ethernet module so that you can get the advanced diagnostics out of the GuardLink master module. And obviously all this data is going to be going back to your controller over Ethernet, and so that we can display it on the HMI panel view or into your business system. So looking at our diagnostic standpoint from the system, we have our existing device LED indicators. Those have been the same indicators that we've had on the systems in the past from a diagnostic standpoint. But what we've also added is on each one of the smart taps, we have independent LEDs to tell us what's going on with the devices. And then also an LED to tell us that our link is good between all the taps and devices. So it tells us if there's an issue there from that standpoint. So you can quickly look if a machine operator is walking around, maintenance person, see if their system's good or any issues from that standpoint. We also have a series of lights on the master module itself to tell us what's going on with the system. This is the example. What happens when my first guard door opens up? You can see there I dropped out the light for that device. My link is no longer good between all the devices, and my other ones are flashing green telling me the system is still, those devices are still good, but there's a problem in the system somewhere. One device is faulted. And so all that diagnostic data goes back to a master. It goes back to over the Ethernet module to my PLC. So you can see our system's good again. Same thing happens if someone were to press the last device in the circuit, which this would be the E-stop example. Again, giving us notification back to our HMI business system, hey, this device was pressed. So again, we mentioned we were able to get a GuardLink PLE, is rated for GuardLink PLE or category 4. So again, it's a nice way to get multiple devices wired in series. Diving into the features a little bit deeper, the GuardLink system itself, over hardwiring and things, also supports the diagnostics we mentioned, but it also supports the remote reset, lock and unlock command over the network. So if I go to my HMI, I can have my reset button on my HMI, reset my safety system, unlock or lock any door independently. So I don't have to unlock them all at once or lock back one at a time if I wanted to. I can set that up however I want within my processor. Again, the Ethernet module itself has its own AOP, so all our tags are generated for us within the programmer or within our PLC and controller. But getting into the GuardLink system, we have up to 1,000-meter link distance. So our main trunk line can be up to 1,000 meters. You can see there. So we got great distance flexibility, up to 30 meters between devices, and then 10 meters from the tap to the device. So we can cover a pretty broad area. The other thing that's not shown here is we can actually have 2 of these main trunk lines off of one master module. And that's where you see down there listed at the bottom, it says dual GuardLink enabled safety relay. That's what it means by that. We can have 2 of these trunk lines coming off of it. So that's 64 devices off of one master. As far as the devices go, again, it's just generic safety devices, electromechanical devices or OSSDs. When I talk about OSSDs, that's my light curtains, my safety scanners, SensiGuard door switches, anything with a solid state output out of it. The electromechanical is pretty self-explanatory. It's your e-stops, your older door switches, and things with dry contacts inside of those. Again, we're able to look at real-time data from each individual device. We talked about how they were wired in the past. You had them each hardwired back. This, again, gives it to us over the network, so we don't have to take all those wiring. The issue of having multiple wiring points being failure points. Again, all the products are standardized on M12 quick disconnect, so you alleviate the problems of a maintenance guy or someone leaving a wire termination loose, landing it at the wrong spot. And again, also we can do the remote reset, lock and unlock, and fault reset over Ethernet. Many times you'll have a safety device out in the field. If it faults or goes into a fault condition, you actually have to cycle power to the device to reset it from a hard fault. The GuardLink protocol or system allows you to cycle power to that device out in the field without cycling power to your whole safety system. So that may be an added benefit in some cases where you don't want to power a machine down.